Good evening and welcome to Sporlitiks, where sports and politics mix and mingle. I'm Stacey Johnson. Joining me tonight is Todd, my cousin Todd, and Aguna, the voice of reason. Stephen and Keith are off tonight. We have a full show for you. A lot going on in the world. First up, President Trump returned to New York City to watch the New York Knicks lose to the San Antonio Spurs in a nail-biting game. It was very exciting to watch. The Senate passed a $70 billion fund for immigration enforcement without limits on Trump's anti-weaponization fund. Republicans ultimately defeated multiple attempts by senators on both sides to stop this bill. Since Stephen's off, he gave me notes to talk about NASCAR. NBA playoffs, I'll mention it again, and LA mayor candidate Spencer Pratt says he hopes incumbent Karen Bass is ready. The deflated Carolina Hurricanes faced 2-1 deficit after a double overtime loss in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. And Cousin Todd has a special treat for you tonight and more if we can fit it in. First up, I think I better talk about and play what Stephen would have if he were here. Let me share my screen. NASCAR.
Officially rode into Michigan International Speedway ahead of the Firekeepers Casino 400.
And Desharian Broom joins us from MIS in Brooklyn, Michigan, and has more from race weekend.
Yeah, it's officially race weekend here at Michigan International Speedway. And while many may look at Michigan as just your average intermediate track, many drivers who I've spoken with say that Michigan is the fastest track in all of NASCAR. Drivers like Ross Chastain and Michigan native Brad Keselowski agree with those sentiments, telling me that Michigan International Speedway is the fastest they've ever been in their Cup car. Denny Hamlin is coming off a win last weekend in Nashville and won the Firekeepers Casino 400 last season. So chances are Hamlin is hoping a little bit of that casino luck follows him here this year. As for Kyle Larson, he started his career by earning his first 3 of 4 Cup Series wins in Michigan, most recently in 2017. And while he's been close to a win in other years, he's determined to get back into the winner's circle on Sunday.
Yeah, it has been, I guess, it's going on 9 or so years since the last time I won there. So would love to find victory lane again. But yeah, I mean, since then I feel like every time I've gone to Michigan, we've been really good and have been close to winning a couple different times, just haven't done it. So hopefully, yeah, we can go back and get back to victory lane.
As for the Grand Marshal for this year's Firekeepers Casino 400, it will be none other than Michigan native Connor Hellebuck, who was the starting goalie for Team USA Hockey earlier this year when they won gold at the Winter Olympics for the first time since 1980. Safe to say the gold standard will be leading the way here on Sunday. At Michigan International Speedway, I'm Desharian McBroom.
All right. Desharian McBroom, Cousin Todd. It looks like he was reporting on NASCAR. I'm surprised you didn't have anything smart to say about that.
No. NASCAR is just not my thing. But I've watched some matches, and I know Patty.
They're not matches. You mean races.
Well, when you are using a puck, usually that's called a match. Well, you know what? Never mind. I'll just let you be dumb then.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I don't watch NASCAR much, but I like it from time to time. But I think once more blacks get into it, it'll be more interesting to me. It's just too quiet.
It's interesting, period. You know what I mean? I to watch it move so quickly. So, and to watch those cars go, and you know, you have to know what you're doing to drive a car that fast around so many cars and being close to so many cars. You really have to, you know, that's not your average driving in the city.
Right.
serious driving, it could kill you. So, I mean, there's a definite art to that race, regardless of what race you belong to and what race you were born in.
I'm bored.
Okay, so Stephen told me to tell everyone, please let everybody know that Denny Hamlin, who is an owner of a team with Michael Jordan, has won the last 2 races starting from the back. He actually got the pole for both races, but early in the last race, he had to go to the back of the field. And before this last race started, he was penalized and had to go to the back of the field. And he started on the pole for both races. And he ended up winning both races from starting from the back. He is a machine, and Reddick is a machine. If I've never seen anything like it, I'd love to talk about it. So maybe I can go outside and do a little bit of something, but that's what he has to say about that.
Okay.
So let's go into something that you are interested in.
Yeah.
Tennis. Cousin Todd, and you want to talk about what happened with the French Open before we go into the other
No, I haven't been watching the French Open much. You know, when my people left.
Who are your people?
I'll tell you who my people are. Federer, Nadal, that's about it.
Federer leave years ago, and Nadal?
No, that was just 2 years ago. And Nadal was in and out. He didn't know if he could recover, and so he just decided he couldn't do it. And not only them, but of course Venus and Serena and Keys, Madison Keys. I thought she was going to retire, but she didn't. She's still in it, and she's not winning a lot of matches, but she's still trying it. A lot of people. Osaka. She was in and out. Remember, she had a little breakdown, and so she took a break.
Naomi, right?
Osaka, and I forget the guy's name. He's anyway, I forget, but he's not been playing so well. A black guy, Mofis. Mofis is retired. But anyway, I just haven't been since my people are leaving the sport. Now I still like. I'm
bored.
I still like. What's his name? The new guy who we're into. A something with an A. I forget. Wait, just his name will come to me. I'm liking him. Isner lost early on, and he's number 1. And so it's just like these a lot of no names now who are still in it, and just not that interested. We'll see about the U.S. Open, but right now I'm like, but the doubles just got interesting because Serena joined.
Speaking of which, let's watch that.
Alcaraz is the boy's name. I forgot. Alcaraz, I'm into him now.
Serena Williams has won in her return to the court in London. Williams and her doubles partner Victoria Mboko won in straight sets in the round of 16 at the HSBC Championship. This was the 44-year-old's first competitive match since the 2022 U.S. Open. The 23-time Grand Slam champ has committed to playing in this tournament and the upcoming Berlin Open later this month. It's still yet to be seen whether she will make her return to Wimbledon later this summer. So let's now welcome in CBS Sports tennis analyst Cece Velez. Cece, we saw Serena Williams play tennis today. What did you think?
Yeah, we did. And I was pleasantly surprised, as I think a lot of people were. I mean, she started off, we didn't really know what to expect. Like you said, she hasn't played a pro match in almost 4 years. That's a long time, to be out of competition. And I think something worth noting is, whether you're practicing well and, you're feeling like you're fit and, kind of at the fitness level that you think you need to be at in practice, it's never really the same as when you get kind of into that match situation. And she looked great. First set was kind of a roller coaster. Started off, in the first game, she hit a couple winners right when she was up at the net, which was great to see. And she and her partner Mboko went up early 4-1. And then the other team, a seasoned doubles team, came back, forced a tiebreak. And then it was kind of rolling for Serena and Mboko after that. It was really impressive to see. I think one of the things that stood out as well were Serena's reflexes. I think usually, after not playing a match in 4 years, that's something that you would think would go quick and would be maybe the last thing to come back. Usually in tennis, when you take kind of a break, the last things to come back to start feeling good again are your hands, your touch, kind of the more feel type shots. And goodness, I think that may have been what was most impressive with her, today. And then in addition, her serve, she was serving 120. She hit an 120-mile-an-hour serve out there today. So, I think that was probably the best experience she could have asked for.
It's crazy. It felt like we were watching the Serena of old, but obviously we hadn't seen her play in so long. So to see that was super impressive. And now it kind of opens our eyes a little bit. It gets us dreaming a bit, Cece, about what could potentially come next. So it looked like doubles could be a nice route for her to prolong her tennis career. But now what do you think could potentially be in store for Serena? Maybe some singles too?
How can we say no after what we saw today? I think, a lot of kind of, rumors swirling around if she's going to play, singles at Wimbledon, what she's going to do. I don't think singles is off the table. I actually expect her to try singles at some point. I think it would probably be in her best interest just to get a couple tournaments of doubles under her belt, just, getting that experience back, getting that kind of like match fit and match toughness back, because that's going to be the most important thing for her, being out, away from the game for so long. But otherwise, I expect her, to play some singles events later this year, whether it's in the grass season or maybe in the hard court swing. But yeah, I think all bets are off after seeing that today.
23 Grand Slam singles for Serena Williams. So certainly that is where we are most used to seeing her. But if we were to daydream a little bit, you see highlighting Wimbledon coming up at the end of this month. She has the Berlin Open between now and then. While we're daydreaming a bit, Cece, if we go back to doubles, what's the likelihood we see her pair up with Big Sis?
Yeah, listen, I do not think it's off the table. I think, she shows Mboko, for this event. Mboko's a young gun. She's top 10 in the world. She's one of the more kind of impressive rising stars. And, rising star is a crazy term. She's already top 10 in the world. She's already been making massive waves on the tour. And so she's 19. Yeah. She's an unbelievable player. Talk about firepower. Serena was someone she looked up to from a young age. So what an experience for her to have this out there today as well. But yeah, I thought Serena was going to come back and maybe, play with Venus. There was actually rumors kind of started at the beginning of this year in January. Serena entered the anti-doping pool, which is something that you have to do at least 6 months before you play in competition. If you took a break, if you retired as a pro tennis player. So you have to do that 6 months before you want to play your first match. And she did that in January. So people were thinking, okay, grass season, is this going to be it? Is Serena coming back? And I think a lot of people thought she'd go out with Venus, but what a partner that she chose today. Maybe we'll see Venus at Wimbledon. That'd be kind of fun.
Kind of fun. That would be spectacular, but yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop that because, Todd, I know you have a lot to say about that. But before I do, let me go back. I want to show the screen. There we go. All right, so you see the screen? Let me share the screen. I'm sorry. I thought you could see it. All right, so it shows us that the winners for the Australian Open was Carlos Alcaraz for the men and Elena Rybakina for the women. And then for the French Open, there was Alexander Zverev for the men and Mira Andreeva for the women. And now we have the Wimbledon Championships. But prior to that, we just heard the young lady talking about Serena returning. Now, I must say, I was sitting at a afternoon tea with a few of my mother's friends. So they were late 80s, early 90-year-olds, African-American women, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. And when I told them that Serena was entering and returning back to playing tennis, all of them said no. No, she should have gone out on top and stayed out. She shouldn't have returned. I told them that she didn't return as a single player, but she returned as a doubles player with since she's in her 40s, she returned with someone who's 19 years old, top 10 in the world, who is going to, of course, run faster than she does because she's not even 20 years old yet. And Serena's over 40 years old. And they still said, that's nice, but she should just do something different and she should have stayed retired. We want to see her go out on top. Your comments, Cousin Todd.
Well, yeah, I can see them saying that, especially given their age. And they want her to be remembered as, the top. But she's still a good player. And she's playing doubles, not singles. So she won today, and she'll continue to win. And so she will have to prove herself to people like them. And but once she wins and wins and wins, then they'll change their mind and say, "Oh, I'm glad she played." So she's doing well, and she's got a lot of talent, and she's got that little young 19-year-old. Is that girl African? I think she is, isn't she?
She's Canadian.
Canadian. I thought she was African.
She's Canadian. She's probably African-Canadian.
Right.
But she is Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm American. I'm not African. I'm American. But because all you see is color, Todd.
Yes,
you can't get past whether someone was born in one country as opposed to another.
Well, it all started in Africa. Surprise.
Yeah, Todd, I know you're happy about Serena regardless. So
right, so she's back. And did you see her play today? She played today and she did very well. Speaking of Africa, I can't hardly see you. You need some more light.
I don't know. Whatever. I can see your beard. Here we go.
Oh, there you go.
It's the lighting.
There you are. I couldn't see anything except those teeth, those pearly whites. I'm making a joke.
Oh, man.
Now, the Hockey League, the Stanley Cup playoff, now comes down to these two teams, the Carolina Hurricanes and Vegas Golden Knights, set to face off for Game 1 of the final matchup tonight. I'm joined by ESPN reporter and senior NHL writer Greg Wyshynski. Greg, the Hurricanes breezed through these playoffs, as they have in the last few years, but this time they actually got to the final. What are the keys for the Hurricanes to hoist Lord Stanley?
Well, the big question for them year after year was, could they get a big goal at a big time in the playoffs? And the answer this year has been yes so far. It's clearly the best offensive team Coach Rod Brindamore has had with the Hurricanes. And if they can continue their offensive streaks in these playoffs, I think they're going to be in good shape. More than that, goalie Freddie Anderson is a key. In the past, he's been hurt. He's been pulled from series. He's been their best goalie this year in these playoffs, and without question, the best goalie in the playoffs overall.
And talking about big goals and big moments, the Golden Knights wing Mitch Marner is on an absolute tear with 7 goals and 14 assists, I believe, in the playoffs so far. You think he can keep this level of play up in the final?
He's one of my favorite stories of the postseason. You have to remember, Mitch Marner comes from the Toronto Maple Leafs, where he was the symbol of all of their playoff failure and got the label as being a playoff choker. He leaves, he goes to Vegas. He's the leading scorer in the playoffs. A great redemption arc for Mitch Marner. You know, it's going to be an interesting chess match between these two teams. I mean, the Golden Knights have bigger offensive stars than Marner, Jack Eichel, Mark Stone, but both of these teams love to defend, love to control the puck. It could be a bit of a chess match in Game 1.
Carolina has the home ice tonight. How much do you think that'll play into the matchup?
Well, you know, it all kind of goes in Carolina's favor when you start to talk about these intangibles. They have home ice advantage for the series, and they are also an incredibly rested team in these playoffs. They swept the first round. They swept the second round. They got through the third round in only 5 games. It's hard to get any more rest and relaxation than the Carolina Hurricanes have had. And on top of that, they'll be able to have the comforts of home in this series against Vegas.
And you know, they say a hot goalie, sometimes that's all you need. Who's got the advantage in net?
Yeah, I think Freddie Anderson's been the better goalie of the two. Carter Hart of the Vegas Golden Knights has gotten better as the playoffs have gone on for them. His best numbers were in the conference final for them. But Freddie has been the last line of defense, especially on the Carolina penalty kill, where that's going to be a real key. The Vegas power play, extremely talented. They put 5 forwards out there. Carolina's penalty kill is going to be a key to the series, and their best penalty killer is their goaltender, Freddie Anderson.
All right, Greg Wyshynski, thank you.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to choose Los Angeles because when they lace up and take that field, I think they're going to win the World Series. They're going to take it all the way to the top. America first.
So I think isn't Vegas up on the series 2-1?
Vegas is 2-1. Vegas is up 2-1.
No, I didn't say Vegas. I said Los Angeles.
I know, Todd. I know, Todd. The joke never gets old, but somehow, just like your beard, it just keeps it's just there, up front and center. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting tonight. Carolina, they got down early in the series, so we'll see.
I
think that was a late reporting.
Yeah, I'm just glad that Carolina is losing. I don't care about the Las Vegas Knights. I really don't. And I don't care about Carolina, but Carolina swept the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah.
I mean, they just swept them. So since they beat my team so badly, I'm glad they are down in the series and they have a chance of not drinking out of the cup, the ultimate cup.
What? What cup? What are you talking about?
Stanley Cup, Todd. The Stanley Cup.
Stanley's Cup. Who is Stanley? Well, you know what? Never mind.
His brother.
Cousin Stanley. If it was cousin Stanley, you know who it was. But no, yeah. So we'll see. Flyers were a real Cinderella story, so I didn't expect them to miraculously get to the finals. But yeah, Carolina, it's going to be interesting.
All right, so let's look at this. I know Todd won't know what this is about, but we will, Guna.
In the streets of New York. People climbing on top of cars and up scaffolding after the Knicks lost to the Spurs in Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Police deploying pepper spray in the clashes. Several people arrested. It was a different scene inside Madison Square Garden. President Trump becoming the first sitting president to attend an NBA Finals game. The president booed during the national anthem. Trump calling the game experience amazing.
It was certainly amazing. It was. I think mostly cheers. It was loud and it was very enthusiastic.
Fox gets into the paint, puts up jumper, got it. The Aaron Fox with a clutch bucket right there.
On the court with the season on the line, the San Antonio Spurs pulling off a gritty road win.
Alley-oop to Wembanyama.
7'4" superstar Victor Wembanyama with a huge night for San Antonio, dropping 32 points in his first finals game at Madison Square Garden.
Another long three-pointer, lines it up and knocks it down.
Knicks captain Jalen Brunson also scoring 32.
Steps back, three-pointers up, it's good!
It was a physical game, players battling on every possession. Hart getting a technical foul here after this dust-up with Luke Cornett, while this non-call between Wemby and Brunson raising eyebrows.
Whoa! That should be a flagrant one.
Brunson sharing his perspective post-game.
What happened between you and Victor in the first quarter, and did their level of physicality bother you?
No, to answer your second question. And whatever you saw is what you saw.
The Knicks mounting a comeback in the fourth quarter.
Goes to Anunoby in the corner, fires away, three-pointer, got it! OG Anunoby nails it!
Celebrity Row filled with a who's who of Knicks fans. Spike Lee, Timothy Chalamet, Ben Stiller, and more all courtside for the first finals game at MSG since 1999. But San Antonio snapping the Knicks' 13-game playoff win streak, taking Game 3 at the Garden 115-111.
Did what we were supposed to do, but the job is absolutely not done. We're not even halfway. The hardest is still to come. Come on. Midnight, man, let's go.
Fans in San Antonio far from the game, but still in on the action.
Hey!
The Salesian sisters bringing divine inspiration, supporting their team from home.
Spurs players and fans are feeling good. They're right back in this thing, but some solace for Knicks fans. Never before in NBA Finals history has the road team won each of the first 4 games. So if that continues, the Knicks would win tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern on ABC.
So we're on board with those.
You were right that Wemby had an amazing game, but how did they miss that headline?
It was so obvious in the arena, like he just basically punched Brunson in the back of the head, and Brunson got distracted and walked after him. Everyone's like, what's going on? The refs left something to be desired for Knicks fans for sure, but got another game tomorrow.
Yeah, I had to write a note to Isabel because she went to bed at halftime. So
Oh,
her
what
note,
a terrible note to wake up to. if you're a Knicks fan.
I'm so sorry.
Because they were winning it out.
Okay, Aguna.
Aguna, no, because Aguna talks too long. I didn't like this. This is why I don't like hockey. They get too crazy. They're violent. I just can't take it. And so, you know what? Down for the NFL. America first.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah. So Todd, thank you for all that you are and all that you can be. That was a good game last night. I mean, it was a must-win game for San Antonio. I mean, I don't see San Antonio winning 4 games in a row. So if they were to go down 3-0 in that series, it was pretty much a wrap. I do think it was like definitely a bookie game, though. I mean, you had, just lights out play by the Knicks up until this point. I mean, they were on a 13-game win streak coming in to this game. They just pulled off 2 miraculous victories in San Antonio on the road to flip the series. So now it's a home series for the Knicks, right? And so it was just teed up. All the celebrities were there. The Garden was just rocking, had people outside. The whole city was orange and blue, and it was just prime for a disappointment, in my opinion, because there was just too much pressure. So, but it also tees up a great make or break game 4, just like in the series of hockey. I mean, if you look at these 2 leagues, the NFL, NHL, and the NBA, the longer these series go, the more money, the more viewership and everything like that. So I didn't see like the Knicks running away with this, even though they were chasing history, because if they would have swept the finals, they would have tied NBA history as far as dominating the playoffs. But now, with Yama and everything, this is going to be a big series. So tomorrow night, I'm gonna definitely tune in to see what's going to happen. It's going to be a great. That was a great game. The refs were kind of cooking the books a little bit because there were definitely some physical play. You saw that what happened to Brunson there. That should have definitely been a foul. There were some other sketchy calls as well, but it was back and forth. The Knicks were in that thing all the way up until the late in the 4th quarter there, so a 4th period or whatever. So it's a good series. It's been a good series, and even game 2 came down to the last possession and a missed shot that looked like it was going in. So this has been definitely a great series. Finals. I mean, at first I thought, hey, maybe the Knicks will sweep them because I thought they were going to win last night just because of the energy in the building, but I wasn't surprised when they didn't. So this game 4 is going to be crucial. I mean, if San Antonio can win game 4, that just makes it a 3-game series, and it goes back to being basically 0-0, 2 out of 3. And then you're going back to San Antonio with not only the momentum, but you also have, home court advantage again. And so, and now you start putting pressure back on the Knicks. But I think they matched up well. And for some reason, San Antonio can play on the road. I mean, you saw what they did against OKC, where they had some crucial games where they were must win, and they responded. So I think the longer this series goes, the better it is for the NBA.
So I watched that game, and I thought that it was an incredible game. First off, I thought that the New York Knicks cheated by having 2 weeks off sitting around doing nothing. I thought that was a cheat right there. I mean, 2 weeks off. What team has 2 weeks off while they watch other teams?
A good team that, beats up on bad teams that had no business being in the finals, such as the Sixers. So, I mean, I just got to keep it real. The Sixers didn't belong. I mean, the Knicks proved that. So,
okay. So I'm not a Spurs fan and I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm a Sixers fan. But I must say, as I watched that game last night, I saw the Spurs attack that game a little differently. They used their brains, they used their smarts, they used their heads. They played intellectually, not through energy or through feelings. The Knicks played through energy and feelings, and that's probably because the President of the United States was in the audience, as well as a bunch of stars, and they knew all the boroughs were watching this game, so they were playing through energy and feeling, whereas the Spurs were playing with their head. They played excellent. The Spurs played excellent defense, in addition to pulling out those fouls against the Knicks. Most of the time, the Spurs spent on that foul line, and they made all their shots. If not, even if they missed like one or two, they made a majority of their foul shots, and that's what kept them in the game.
You hear that, Todd? Are you tracking this?
Yeah, but that's the reason I don't
like touchdowns.
So I felt so, and then the way the Spurs, at one point in the third quarter, toward the end of the third quarter, the Knicks had passed the Spurs in points. The Spurs not once took that as a defeat feeling. They just kept grinding. They kept pulling the Knicks into fouls, and they kept making points, and they didn't give up. They didn't give up even to the end. The Spurs took it all the way to the end. I mean, to the last quarter, in the last 20, it was 46 seconds I was watching. I mean, I watched the whole thing. 46 seconds, they didn't give up. 29 seconds, they shot a foul shot. They didn't give up. They never gave up. And that is the difference between a winning team and a losing team. The team that does not give up all the way to the end. Right, Aguna?
Right. Right, Todd. They don't give up. Just like your hairline, Todd. You just don't give up. You're staying in it. You're keeping it there. You're keeping with it.
I'm really looking forward to this game tomorrow night in New York. I don't know who's going to win. Like I said, I'm not a Spurs fan. I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm a 76ers fan. But it's a very good, exciting game to watch in these NBA playoffs finals.
Yeah. I mean, this time of year, this is all you can ask for is some competitive basketball as we wait for football to come back around. So I'm not.
All right. Thank you. We will move on to a primary election going on right now in Maine. Let's see what they have to say.
This morning, voters are headed to the polls in a series of high-stakes primary elections that could help shape the political battlefield for November. It's also another big test for President Trump's influence inside the Republican Party, while Democrats face questions of their own over controversial candidates and the party's messaging heading into the midterms. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jan Jeffcoat. It is Tuesday, June 9th, and today voters in 4 states headed to the polls in their primary elections, including North Dakota, Nevada, South Carolina, and the state of Maine, where the Senate race is drawing national attention as Democratic Party leaders continue to stand behind Graham Plattner. Plattner has faced months of scrutiny and a growing list of controversies, yet he continues to show strong support from Democratic voters, raising questions about the issues that matter most inside today's Democratic Party. We want to get right to Angela Brown following the latest developments as polling locations begin to open all across the country. Good morning to you, Angela. So we got, Maine to South Carolina, obviously a big day for both parties.
Yeah, I think polling places in South Carolina, if they open around 7 a.m., I think it is. Maine around 6. So they're going to start getting going very soon here. But once again, it is a big day for many states. We got a lot of high-profile races that we're watching this morning. There are 4 states heading to the polls. Once again, we're talking Maine, Nevada, North Dakota, and also South Carolina. Now, the political world, of course, is watching Maine, where the governor, the Senate, and they have a couple U.S. House seats are also up for grabs. grabs. It's also where Democrat Graham Plattner is running for the Democrat nomination for the Senate. Now, Plattner, of course, is a controversial pick. He's been accused of posting offensive comments online, faced backlash for what appears to be a Nazi symbol tattooed on his chest at one point, then he apparently covered it up. And he's been accused of abuse by a couple of women he used to date. Now, right now, though, he may have a clear path to the nomination and could set up a race between him and, of course, incumbent Republican Senator Susan Collins. So we're going to see how that race goes. We're also watching what's happening over in South Carolina because they have a couple of hot races as well. You have the governor's race, you have that, and you also have the race for the Senate. Now, President Trump has been virtually campaigning for Senator Lindsey Graham, who's running for re-election. The president is also supporting Pamela Abbott in the governor's race as well. And that, of course, could boost her campaign. Of course, the president considered the gold standard for endorsements, while at the same time dealing a blow to U.S. Rep. Nancy Mace, who is also running for governor. At times, she's been the president's good graces, but Mace believes she did not get the president's endorsement for governor because she backed the releasing of the Epstein files. Now, we're tracking all of these races when the polls open. So much more here at the Live Desk.
Okay. Anyone want to talk about these primary elections in the United States?
Well, I'm particularly interested in the one in South Carolina. I know the lieutenant governor's race, the candidate that Trump endorsed was denied, permission to speak at my university, South Carolina State, and that created like a big buzz in South Carolina. They started threatening about funding for the school, all the way to talking about freedom of speech. And again, the students came out and said that they didn't want that particular person to speak because of her stances on DEI and some of the things that were supposed to inspire them as part of their whole graduation. So it'll be interesting to see if she wins the primary there based on Trump's endorsement. She wasn't really polling well before, but after that controversy, she seemed to get some traction, surprise, in South Carolina. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. And then also the governor's race in Maine, where the Democrats have started to back controversial candidate Planter here. So again, there's questions about his, treatment of some of his past relationships, and then of course the Nazi tattoo issue. But as you can see in the political landscape, these not so perfect candidates are being still heralded as electable. Whereas if you go back 20 years ago, it'd be unheard of to even have this type of blemish on your record going into these types of primaries. And basically the constituencies would vote you out because they would be like, we want a clean record. There's a standard, it's a moral standard or some high road, around, our elected officials. Not so much anymore, right? So you see where even controversy around candidacies isn't a disqualifying factor when it comes to these things. So it'll be interesting to see what the voters of Maine think and how do they react. I will say this: overall, the Democrats, despite having a very unpopular president based on the polling numbers, they can't seem to coalesce around a unified message or come up with ideas that really resonate with the electorate this far out from the midterm. And it could be that they just want to sit on this anti-Trump, hey, we're not Trump, you see what Trump is doing, the unapproval. Maybe they're trying to ride that, the attitude of discontent for the current administration. But the other part is, in the past, Democrats just haven't been nasty when it comes to these elections. And you see how on the Republican side, not only do they coalesce around messaging, right, wrong, or indifferent, they don't break ranks under Trump. Now, in the past, they had done that before. If you look at the Bushes, but for some reason, Teflon Don, they don't break rank, and they are lockstep and barrel. Probably because at the end of the day, they're going to go down with the ship, because what else do they have to lose at this point, right? So they might as well kind of defend and position themselves with, I wouldn't say a popular president from the country's perspective, but definitely popular when it comes to the party. I mean, all Republicans are lockstep with Trump, including the endorsements, including no matter what. So, and it seems for the most part to be a winning ticket, his endorsements and things like that. For the most part, they've been successful in the primaries. Now, when it gets to a general election, we'll have to see how that plays out. But I am kind of surprised that Democrats don't have a winning strategy at this point. I mean, they should be just hammering this administration left and right, and they don't seem to be doing it. And they don't seem to be having a clear message when it comes to what voters should be discontent about, other than we don't like Trump, and I don't think that's
not enough.
People are going to.
They're talking about the war. They're talking about gas prices. That's what they should do, and let the Republicans continue to.
Yeah, but see here, you're saying they're talking about it, but who are they talking about it to? It seems like they're in an echo chamber.
No, they're not.
Even with Democrats, Democrats can't out Republicans, right? So remember when gas prices were up under Biden, what did the Republicans do? They hammered that message home. You couldn't. I mean, there were gas stations all across the country.
That's what they're doing. The Democrats are doing now.
No, they're not.
They're not.
They're not. They're if you go off to MSNBC in the little echo chamber, they're philosophizing about things, but they're not hitting home with the kitchen table messaging that they should be doing.
I don't know what that means, kitchen table. They're talking about gas prices. Not only putting gas in your
how
car,
are they talking about gas prices? How are they talking about, gas prices are high? Well, the president is, and so what the Republicans say and what the president has said is, hey, yeah, gas prices are high because we don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. We're saving the world right now by keeping Iran nuclear program at bay. And we're a couple days from making a deal. So, we're going to suffer a little bit, but the world's going to be safer.
Okay.
What is the Democrats' message?
If I could get a word in edgewise, you would hear. They're saying we never should have gone to war, period.
So you don't think Iran was a threat?
If I could finish
okay.
He never asked Congress if he could go to war. He just went. And so the Democrats are saying, hey, he can't do this. And Republicans are allowing him to do this. And meanwhile, you're paying for it in higher gas prices and higher food prices. This is not going to end for months.
And in what the president has said, and has always continued to say, he said peace through strength. He's like, Iran was a threat. We're eliminating the threat.
Nobody
we're going to take care of that. And nobody else in the last 47 years had the wherewithal, the intelligence to take care of it. They just talked about it.
They were smart enough not to, because they never had a nuclear weapon because of Obama. And now this is what
they definitely don't have one now, right? They definitely don't have one now.
Wait a minute. So according to, and this is what the Democrats are saying, according to Trump, they obliterated their capabilities of a nuclear weapon. That's what he said a few months ago. Now he's saying something totally different, because you did not obliterate anything. So,
but here's the thing, Todd, and see, this is what happens with Democrats and their messaging. See, you're trying to be reasonable. You're trying to go off of, the perception around, but right now it's a vibes and a perception-based electorate, right? So you can sit here and talk about, you're supposed to obliterate it 6 months ago. There's no unifying messaging around that from the Democratic side. All it is like we're moving on. What the Republicans do very well, and what this president does very well, is control the narrative. He controls the narrative, and he controls the attention span of the American people. So it's on to the next chaos. It's on to the next controversy.
I understand.
You guys are still explaining away how we got here, and the American people don't care. At the end of the day, he was elected, right? And he has positioned himself to be, if you're against me, you're against America.
No.
America is saving the world right now by combating Iran, stopping them from getting a nuclear missile. And by the way, we're going to have a deal that's going to be better than the deal Obama.
We're not going to have that kind of a deal. And this is the nonsense. I don't know who's telling you that, But even
they're going to have
Republicans,
they're going to have a deal. I'm going to tell you
God.
two things. They're going to have a deal, and it's going to be a better deal than the Obama deal.
Okay.
And the reason why it's going to be a better deal than the Obama deal is because on the other side of this deal is going to be enrichment of certain parties within this administration, meaning that on the back end of this deal, and this goes back to what Harry Truman said, beware of the military-industrial complex, right? He said that because, one, we're going to spend money replenishing our arsenal. So the defense contractors, the Lockheed Martins, Northrop Grummons of the world, and everything are going to get paid because we're going to increase our arsenal. We're probably going to learn some things from this conflict.
Because we used it all, wasted it all. And so
we used it all, but we also are going to start building cheaper deterrents through this new warfare with drones. So through this conflict, we're going to learn new tactics to combat this type of thing. So which is going to be a moneymaker for the defense industry. The second thing, I guarantee you that the assets that are probably going to get released as a result of this deal, meaning Iran wants their assets back. President Obama gave them some money. They gave them their own money, right?
Right.
So what if President Trump does the same thing, except he says, you know what? I'm gonna give you your money back, but the only way I give you your money back is if you allow the Arab states, companies from the Arab states, to help rebuild Iran. And those same companies from the Arab states are part of an investment conglomerate with Jared Kushner and some of these other guys. So if you're a wise American and you're investing in the stock market and investing in certain companies, you could actually profit from the reconstruction.
Get out of here. Are you crazy? You're telling the president to dip his hand in the cookie jar. You're insane.
That's not insane. This is the new America. I'm living in a new reality. You're still trying to go with the moral high road. This president is very transactional. He's saying if you want to get with this administration, you may call it corruption or whatever, but it's going to be that type of deal. It's going to be an enrichment of some American companies or American investors. And if so let me ask you something, Todd. If you could make money off of rebuilding Iran without a nuclear weapon, would you do it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, there are a lot of people in this country that are and will.
Okay. Let me just say to you.
That's what. Look,
you're killing me.
Thing. No, I'm not. I'm being realistic.
No, you're not. You're being a thief. You're being a criminal.
Okay. So if that's the case, there are laws in this country, and there's a judicial system in this country that should stop it. You have Congress. You have oversight committees. You got all these different things that are in place to combat that type of corruption. And we've elected people to do so. Whether they do it or not is part of the democratic process. And so if the guardrails work, they should stop them. But they're not stopping them.
No, they're not. This is what.
So again, I'm just giving you the perspective.
You're giving me nonsense.
Corruption breeds corruption. What are you going to do about it?
We're going to stop, like the Democrats said. We're going to vote them out.
Who's going to vote them out? Because you still got redistricting.
No, it just doesn't matter.
You still got. You still got the election fraud accusations.
That's nonsense. I tell you how you can get around that. Get out and vote. Then there doesn't matter what the redistricting does. Get out and vote.
So who are you talking to? Who are you telling to vote?
Would you stop? This is what the Democrats are saying. All you've got to do is see what they're doing and listen to Aguna. They're going to steal money so we can steal it too. Yeah, I'm realistic.
Hey, they're going to steal. They're not stealing money. That's not. I didn't say anything about stealing money. I didn't say anything about stealing money.
Okay.
I said that.
Gosh, we don't need to hear.
As a result of this deal, and so I was asking you, Todd, if this deal is transactional, meaning that American investors can profit from the reconstructing, building Iran back, and making it a civil society that can enter the world stage again. You know, if American companies do and American people can make money and profit off of that, would you do it? You said no. But I see there are a lot of people here in the U.S. that are and will.
Then, okay, I got to move on, but let me ask you this real quick.
I couldn't get it because
would they be able to do the same thing?
I'm being reasonable. You're trying to be.
Would they be able to do the same thing for Ukraine?
You're being emotional.
What about Ukraine? Can they do the profit from rebuilding Ukraine?
Yeah, so that's the other thing.
No,
so in Ukraine, this is why, this is why it was a very fine line that was going on right now, because all that funding, Trump got elected based on, hey, we're funding Ukraine. We need to use that money at home. But we talked about on this show, the money they were giving Ukraine were actually going to go to U.S. companies to help supply military arms and things like that.
Right.
Trump was against that, right? He was against that because at the time he did not have any investment in it, probably, right? Now, the administration may, because there's these different companies that have drone technologies and things like that have had IPOs and things like that. So now there are people in his circle or in this administration that are probably going to profit now from
his son,
meaning his son. But see, here's the thing: you're saying all this, but the American people voted for Trump, and they knew he was a businessman. They knew all of this stuff. And so he's actually behaving as he's always been. And all the stuff was presented to the American people prior to that election. They elected him anyway.
You got to take a break.
What are you talking about? I'm just being reasonable. I'm saying you're bringing all this stuff up, but I'm saying this is why they elected him, to set up these type of deals.
No, they did not. So stop talking for just a moment.
What do you mean they did not? You reading their minds?
I can't get a word in edgewise.
Oh, go ahead, Todd.
Stephen voted for him, and Stephen said, I didn't vote for any of this. Did you hear that?
But
Stephen said, I did not
You also called
vote.
Stephen an idiot. You've also called Stephen an idiot on this show. And you've also said that he didn't know anything he was talking about.
Okay,
so
all
you
right.
bringing up Stephen as a proof point is hypocrisy at
I'm
best.
I'm bringing up Stephen because he was a Trump supporter until he wasn't, which is what his supporters are doing to him. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Stephen is and always will be a Trump supporter, right?
No,
he may
he's
come
not.
out here and say, are you listening to Stephen? Stephen is a flip-flopper at best, but at the end of the day, he called you evil for deposing Trump. So now you're going to see now, he's suffering. But Stephen is still going to benefit from the things that Trump is doing, okay? And whether he likes it or not.
What is he going to benefit from?
He's going to benefit from the fact that, DEI is dead, right? So whatever business
How does that help him?
It helps because now, if there are certain companies that he's competing with that had minority certifications and things like that, some of those things are going away now. And so people like Stephen may like that.
It doesn't matter because this is what happens. People like Stephen will never benefit from that because you still have to be
qualified. They feel good.
Okay.
It's the emotion of it, a perception. Yeah. And that goes back to why he voted for Trump to begin with, because he was scared to death of Kamala Harris and what a woman president would mean for him. So, he's going to complain about Trump after the fact. But at the time when he was making that decision, it was, hey, you know what? I'd much rather go with Trump than have to deal with a Kamala Harris administration. Because if you ask Stephen, he'll say Kamala Harris administration would be worse.
Not now.
I don't know when we ask him.
I did ask him.
Evil.
I did ask him. He was believing the hype.
I got to move on because we're almost out of time.
Stop. I couldn't get a word in edgewise. Get out of my face. Yeah, and then he said, go ahead, then I'll cut you off again. And then go ahead and I'll cut you off again.
You're wasting time. You're wasting your voice now. Make a point, Todd, and move on. You got something to say it.
Look at this. Look at this.
You know what I'm saying? Just because you got a blazer on don't make you smart, Todd. You may look like a professor, but you're not a professor.
He's still talking.
All right,
the
go ahead.
point is, he's losing his voters because they're saying, hey, we didn't vote for this. We didn't vote to go to war because Trump said we're going to get out of these forever wars. And
he said he never said that. He said he didn't guarantee it.
And
he also said peace. He also said through strength.
See how he said, go ahead, Todd, and then cuts me off.
And also, Todd, he's not losing any voters because he can't get reelected. He already got the voters.
No, he has lost his vote. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Joe Rogan, Fox News. He did lose Joe Rogan.
No, Joe Rogan after that was at the White House with him.
It doesn't matter. Joe Rogan has a product to hawk, and he was getting this drug bill fast-tracked. And so anyway, no, Joe Rogan said Trump had no business going to war. And I don't support that. This is what Joe Rogan said.
So, Todd, so you're saying all this. I've been quiet, Todd. You're saying all this. What does all this really mean?
I'm telling you what it means.
What's the consequence? I need to understand the consequence.
The consequence is other people are now joining their bandwagon. What is that?
What does
black
that
girl?
mean?
Just a minute. What is that black girl who has a show?
Candace Owens.
Her. She's against Trump now. All of these people who were
mean? What does that
Trump,
mean?
all of their listeners are now against Trump. This is why Stephen is against Trump. So they're saying everything he promised, he's doing the opposite.
Well, which isn't true. He's not necessarily doing the opposite. He's doing it in a different way.
We're not going to war, and now we're in war. You said it'll be over in a week, and it's not over in a week. Well, a month, it's not over in a month. So this is going to last a good year, and for our gas prices to go down, it's going to be a year.
All right,
So
I got to move on.
The thing, Todd, you're saying all this, and I asked you directly, what's the consequence for all this?
The consequence is the mega is splintered now.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Means Democrats are taking it in November.
No, I don't know about that.
Well, I do.
There's two things. One, Trump isn't necessarily, he doesn't necessarily care whether or not
he doesn't care. No.
Which is what power. He cares about himself. What?
Ted Cruz said that. Ted Cruz said, listen, we can't keep following him because he's not thinking about us. He's thinking about himself.
Well, and Ted Cruz also voted in support of Trump 99.99999% of the time.
Yes.
And he will continue to do that.
No, he won't.
Everything that you're saying, Todd, equates to nothing because the Republicans are going to go along with him regardless.
Why?
You're saying you lose support. You're going to get some sound bites of them voicing a little skepticism and discontent here and there. And then they're going to go behind that curtain and they're going to vote and support his agenda because they're scared to death that they'll get primary. And they also know that they built this monster and they're going to go down with it.
It's the people that they go home to and they say, we don't want to pay these gas prices.
Out of time.
But what's the consequence? They're still elected.
The U.S.
And none of these people
respond after Iran shot down a U.S. helicopter near the Strait of Hormuz.
And those pilots are safe. Alan Devlin here now with the latest on this situation. Alan?
And exactly what that response will look like, only time will tell. This incident, just the latest installment in a war that has now eclipsed 100 days. The president says it's almost over, but some Democrats are saying they've heard that same story too many times before.
Got that agreement?
CBS News has learned that the U.S. military launched a rescue mission overnight after an Apache helicopter was shot down near the Strait of Hormuz. On social media Tuesday afternoon, President Trump said there were 2 pilots involved. Both are safe and uninjured. Nevertheless, the United States must, of necessity, respond to this attack. But minutes before Trump's post, the Speaker of the Iranian parliament seemingly acknowledging the attack on social media, saying, "We prefer the language of diplomacy, but we speak other languages far more fluently. Break your commitments and we'll switch to what we speak best. You ride the horse you saddled."
That doesn't sound like someone who's working towards a deal to end all of this, not just, making the shooting less frequent, but ending it entirely.
The incident follows a weekend of attacks between Iran and Israel, something President Trump spoke on after leaving Game 3 of the NBA Finals in New York Monday night, after speaking with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
He was hit. He hit back. And now they've called it quits. So they're going to just leave each other alone for another week or something.
Israel has continued strikes against Iran-backed Hezbollah, with new strikes in southern Lebanon. President Trump says despite the escalation, negotiations have not stopped.
I think we're very close to having a very good, strong, powerful deal.
But some say that Democrats are growing more impatient with the war, looking to force another vote to end it.
For 100 days, Trump has claimed that peace is just days away. Only for negotiations to crumble over and over again.
Now, President Trump says we could see a peace deal reached within 2 to 3 days, but it is unclear where negotiations stand following the shooting down of this chopper.
So here's the thing.
Wait a minute. Wait. Let me play this because you guys don't know when to stop talking. So
you guys, you mean him.
All right, thank you.
The war in Iran was front and center on today's edition of Meet the Press as moderator Kristen Welker sat down exclusively with President Donald Trump. But as the interview went on, the president walked out when Welker challenged him about his claims about fixed elections.
The election was rigged. It was a dirty election.
Mr.
And it's
President,
happening again right now in
never
California.
presented evidence.
It's happening
that the
right
2020
now in
election was
California.
rigged.
Right now, it's look at what's
Where's
happening
the
in
evidence
California.
to that?
It's
The
4
Republicans
days
are doing well in
California. It's no, they're not. They're dropping fast because it's a rigged election. Let me tell you, it's 4 days, and they aren't even close to coming up with.
That's how they count
You know
the
why they're
votes in
doing that? Because
California.
they're cheating on the election.
Do you have evidence to support
All I have to do is look. All I have to do is look.
That's not
And I
evidence.
listen. And I listen to people. And let's see what happens.
But sir, that's not evidence.
Do you think it's
and
appropriate
That's how they
that they
count the votes in
Do you
California.
think it's appropriate that they have an election and 5 days later they're nowhere close to picking a
State
winner?
and local officials acknowledge they are slow. They're urging.
No, they're crooked.
They're urging
They're
the
crooked.
votes to be counted quickly. That's how they vote
They're
in
crooked,
California.
just like you're crooked. Your press is crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
To be fair, I'm not crooked, but let's
Really?
Let's
Well, you
continue.
play right into their hands. then.
Let's continue.
You're either crooked or you're stupid. Your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked,
Mr.
and so
President-
is ABC and CBS and CNN.
But Mr. President-
You're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President, let's please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I've sat in the
traveled
rain with
all.
you.
I know. I
I've sat in the
traveled
rain
all the
with
way
you
to
for an hour,
Wisconsin.
on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press because you know what? A country can never be
We
great
traveled
with a
all-
dishonest
Listen,
press.
we
Come on, let's
traveled
go.
all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
You're stupid. You're a stupid person. He loves calling girls stupid. So now, did you hear all that nonsense? That turns voters off. The rigged election.
Does
The
it?
rigged election.
He's
The
always
rigged
been like
election.
that. He's always been like that.
The
They
rigged
voted for
election.
him.
He's talking about a rigged election. Do you have any proof? No. So people are getting
Still, rigged
tired of
election
it.
is a metaphor. That's
People
what
are
I've been
getting
told.
tired of this, and this is why his supporters are leaving him now, and this is why
Todd, Democrats keep saying that.
I'm telling you, the people that
understand.
left,
I-
Marjorie
you look at
Taylor
the polling
Greene
numbers.
loved him. Why would Marjorie Taylor Greene turn on him?
Because she made enough money.
Oh, give me a break. Why would Fox
He
News
made her a
turn on him?
millionaire. He made her a millionaire, Todd.
So what? Why would Fox News remember what is the boy's name who got fired off of Fox News and they had to pay out like almost $1 billion.
I think, the Trump
Anyway,
administration
he
is a
turned on-
product of American citizens.
These people are turning on Trump. And like I said, Ted Cruz said, we can't keep following him because the people are not going to elect us. These people need to be elected in November.
Okay, I go
So
back
what
to
happens-
my original statement.
What
You're
happens
saying
when-
all this, but you don't see any committees investigating the Trump administration and
They
their
can't because the Republicans got the House, the Senate, and everything else.
Well,
So
that's
he's
what I'm
not gonna
saying.
be
If they're turning
investigated
on him
until November.
So okay, now here goes another Democratic fallacy. You're assuming that America is going to vote everybody out and you're just going to flip the House and the Senate.
Yeah.
If you look at the numbers, with this gerrymandering stuff, the Republicans gained 10 seats.
5.
Okay? No, they gained 10. They get in Tennessee, or I don't know, South Carolina, they didn't get South Carolina, but in Tennessee, Alabama, Texas, it was like 5 in Texas alone. So you still got Tennessee, Alabama. I mean, maybe Alabama got blocked temporarily or something, but I think it was a net total of 10 that they gained just through their gerrymandering actions. The Democrats everything got blocked on their side, right?
And only in one state.
Well,
Virginia.
but that was the big one because I think California had 4 to kind of offset Texas. Or something like that.
Yes.
The bottom line of it is that the Republicans, even by the math, still maintain a narrow majority in Republican safe districts going into November election. And it's going to be a far cry for them to flip the Senate
they want
because
these people out. The Republicans want it. Do you ever see these interviews that they
Republicans
do
want
with
these people out? No, they don't.
Yes.
People, Republicans like Stephen. If you
God.
use Stephen as an example or Keith,
yes,
he will complain about President Trump till he turns red.
Okay,
But he will
and what's
not
the
vote
point?
for a Democrat.
He
He's not
will.
going to turn around and vote for a Democrat.
He will. Now let me
That's
just
not
say
how
this.
that's not how Republicans roll.
This
They'll
is
hold
how-
their nose and vote the party.
No, what they said was, I voted for Trump 3 times. I won't do that. This is what these Republicans were saying.
And I guarantee you, let's look at the map, Todd.
Oh my gosh.
Because
Yeah, I'm going to finish this
vote
point.
party line, and the only swing is going to be independents. And
Aguna, you gotta
independents.
let him finish.
Just one sentence.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. Go ahead. And then I'll cut you off again. So these poor white people were saying, I voted for him 3 times. I never knew he was going to get us into a war. I can't vote for these Republicans anymore. I'm going to vote Democrat. This is what they said. The man was going around interviewing. And so these people are sick of Trump. They're sick of Trump. And the Republicans are not stopping him. They're just going along with it. They don't want to be in war. They went to gas stations. They said, we don't want to pay these high prices. Why are we over there?
So again, Todd, you're saying they are saying all this, but
Yes.
if you look at the demographics that you're talking about, a white male Republican is
Yes.
going to vote party line regardless.
No,
right?
and a
That's
white male
what the polling
Republican,
shows. That's what they may complain about it,
a
but
white male Republican don't want
the
to be.
Democrats still are branded as the party of gays, transgender, and
That's
women,
right.
minorities.
That's right. And that's fine. So none of that is in their face right now. What's in their face is a
Well,
war
that's the dog
over.
whistles that's the dog whistles that are happening. If you look at the DEI issues, if you look at the election
there
issues,
is no more
look at all those,
DEI.
they're
Oh,
putting
God.
a thumb on the scale so that
Okay.
in the midterms isn't going to be this wave election.
Okay, now hold it right there. There's no DEI in your face because he canceled it. He canceled Christmas. Now listen, what he's got in your face is a war overseas. Poor white men hate that. They did not want to go to war overseas in some brown country. They don't want it. So
In
and
the
you
Civil
said,
War, most Southerners didn't
and
own
you-
slaves. They still went to
oh
war.
my gosh. And so you said you weren't going to do that, and you did it anyway. We don't like that. So, and now we're paying high gas prices. They're sick of that. So
They don't like that,
and
but they still.
Trump-
But this administration creates
just a
an
minute.
environment for them.
Trump is now building a great big, not the wall. He's building a great big ballroom that you're going to pay for. And they're saying, what, $1 billion for? I can't even eat. And then he's going to put up another statue. Are you crazy? What are you doing? Trump, we don't want that. We want you to bring down the gas prices. This is what they're saying. Stop it with all this vanity crap. Meanwhile, your family's getting rich. Trump made $1.8 billion the first year he was in. Now he's made $4 billion. People don't like that. White boys don't like that because they don't want you to get it. And your children are getting money hand over fist. And they're like, wait, what's happening with me?
Again, Todd, you're looking at this emotionally, right? So
I'm not. I'm giving you
I'm
the
talking about
numbers.
I'm talking about the people that I know that are Trump supporters. You know what they're saying? When you say, "Hey, he made $6 billion," since he's been in the White House. You know what they say?
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, I need to attach myself to that horse and ride that horse."
No,
that's what I need to do because he knows how to make money. He's creating an environment that we can profit in. Therefore, I just need to plug into this environment.
People that I know are smarter than that. You're talking to dumb people.
But see, here's the thing.
Trump has never made
am I
other
really
people
talking
rich.
to dumb people?
Yes.
Are we really talking? These are people that are starting businesses. These are people that are investing in companies that are being backed by the administration.
Okay,
Does
guess what?
Does that sound like dumb people
Yes,
to you?
because Trump has never helped anybody. He bankrupted 6 times. Everything in Atlantic City, he bankrupted.
Before or after he got elected?
Before.
Okay, but he got elected anyway, right?
Yes.
So here's the thing.
So,
People
but only
know that.
dumb people. Wait, only poor white. Oh my gosh.
See, Todd, which you are making the same mistake as most the Democratic Party always makes. They think that if you over-explain the situation, that
I'm not
people aren't
over-explaining.
You're explaining now, and they're looking at the messenger and saying, "I didn't trust the Democratic Party to begin with. Why should I trust you now? You're just as unpopular as the president."
You trust Trump, huh? Dumb.
Well, I trust him because he's
he's
profiting. Therefore, I need to attack. This is the mentality that you're dealing with.
Not you. He's not making you prosperous.
Again, he's creating an environment for if I work hard enough, I can profit in it. That's the mentality. That's the disconnect.
You can't. You can't.
How do you know that?
Like, because
so I can't invest
I'm telling you why.
Nvidia?
You can't invest. You invest in his crypto, and they all lost money, dummy. He's the
I'm
only
talking
one
about
that got
Nvidia
money.
and some of these companies. I can't start my own business and take advantage of some of the tax loopholes that he has. I can't.
Go ahead
I can't invest in AI. I can't do all the different
things.
That
you can do that under any president. But the bottom line is, Trump is looking out for himself.
He's showing you right up front. He's not finessing you and saying, "Hey, you know, we're trying to help you buy these handouts." No, he's saying, "I'm gonna profit. If you want to invest in this stuff, you want to be, you want to be business savvy. You just got to do what I'm doing." And that demographic likes that. They don't want to hear it. They know farm subsidy is a handout, but if you couch it as something different, they're going to say, "Oh, this is I am entitled to this." You're still looking at it from a Democratic minority mindset in which you won't benefit from the environment. They still got their privilege. They still got their access. They still have, the thought that, hey, he's hurting other people, so I can get ahead. And they're going to vote that way every time.
Stephen stopped thinking that. Stephen said he didn't give me anything.
So here's the thing.
Nonsense about, oh, those foreigners are taking my jobs. They've never taken your jobs, and they never will.
But you've seen on this show that Stephen has said we were invaded. He talked about the caravan. And see, the thing is, Stephen also said, I don't see color. Stephen said that. And that's a white supremacist message. I don't see colors, therefore I can't be racist. But that is exactly racism because you don't have to see color because you're not a minority. So that's the same dog whistle type tactic. Yeah, Stephen's going to complain till he's red in the face about Donald Trump. Meanwhile, he's profiting from the administration. This is taking away DEI. He's profiting from the administration.
That doesn't make him prosperous. And
with that privilege, he still bottom line of it is we can sit here and complain about this till we're blue in the face. Stephen can complain about it, but he still has access and privilege.
He doesn't have access.
So therefore, he's still, at the end of the day, when it comes to the voting, that same demographic that may be getting hurt will still benefit from the policies. So at the voting booth, they're going to vote a certain way.
Poor white people don't benefit from nothing. All they are is dumb enough to fall for the nonsense about it's them. They're hurting you. They're taking from you. So they fall for that. But they've smartened up now and said, wait a minute.
They're smarting up now. So they're smarting up.
At Stephen.
So you're saying that. Is Stephen going to march on the Capitol to protest Donald Trump? No.
Stephen is just going to vote
they're
for a
smarting
Democrat
up to the fact they're going to complain. They're going to be keyboard warriors, but they're not going to act on it.
They're going to
vote.
He's
not going to turn into a freedom rider.
They're going to vote. They're going to vote. That's all you have to do is vote. And this is what the Democrats are saying. Just get out and vote. Hate all of that, but get out and vote. That's what the Democrats are saying. Do you see what he's got you in? Why he's building a ballroom and you can't eat? He took away your health care. He cut Medicaid. He cut food stamps.
Those were handouts I shouldn't have needed anyway. That's the mindset of the. So here's the thing: the best thing for them is
Medicaid is for old people or poor children. So most white people who are poor and old are on Medicaid. See what you just did?
Look, you're over-explaining, right? And then you're
I'm not over-explaining anything. I'm just giving you the facts.
The thing is, you don't need the vote. You don't need Republicans to vote. You need Democrats to vote.
That's why I said the only thing they're saying is get out and vote. Don't worry about nothing.
But you're not going to convince. You're not going to convince a Stephen. You're not going to convince a Keith to vote Democrat.
Stephen, yes. Keith, no.
Stephen's not going to vote Democrat.
Yes, he is.
libertarian before he'll vote
No,
Democrat.
because
He's not
he
going to
knows
vote
that's a
Democrat.
wasted vote. He knows that's a
Well,
wasted
maybe that's
vote.
what the Democrats
And
need.
And if
They
he
need-
doesn't, if he doesn't vote Democrat, he's going to keep these Republicans in, and that's what he doesn't want.
But you understand the mentality of a Steven demographic is complain about everything and not stand for anything. He was eventually going to complain about Trump anyway because he doesn't trust government. All right. So at the end of the day, the messaging coming out of Steven isn't one of endorsement.
He did not
regardless of who's in
complain.
power.
He didn't complain about Trump his first 4 years. He did not complain. He thought he did well. So had he not gone to war, had he not started stealing, had he not cut, even when he was cutting Medicaid and cutting jobs from veterans, I said, Stephen, that's your people. Your father's a veteran. And what do you talk? People on Medicaid? And all he did was get mad and try to let me have it. But nevertheless, people wake up because they're paying too much money and they can't live. And what's happening is food prices are up too high. Gas is up too high. That means your gas bill at home and everything is too high. And Trump already said, I don't care about that. I'm just trying to stop these people from having a nuclear weapon, which they never had. So, Americans, let me tell you about American whites. They don't particularly like Israel and their Jews. They don't, because this is what they're saying. We're going to war for Israel. Even the girl, Megan something.
Kelly,
is that her? She said, we're going to war for Israel. And they lost their lives for Israel, those soldiers that died. So this is what white people are saying.
You all wouldn't stop talking. We're going way over. We're way out of time. I'm sorry. We did have something, Todd, but I'm unable to show Todd that video.
Are you kidding me?
Are you making a drink?
No, it's not a drink. You can't show it because you didn't put it on TikTok or what?
No, I didn't put it on TikTok, but I think if I put it on when the show's over, I'll put it on TikTok and Instagram. But for some reason, it's not allowing me to show on here. It's not a typical.
I think you're giving Trump, former Trump, or whatever Trump supporters you're giving. They don't feel that he's doing a bad job right now.
They do.
He's doing exactly what he asked. If you ask Keith, he secured the border and he's deregulating and he's making the world safer. Those three things.
Keith
now,
said,
the way he's doing it, you may not agree with some of the tactics.
Oh, get out of here. I don't. People don't agree with the
flip
flip-flopper. He flip-flopped. We're going to get out of those forever wars in colored countries. And he went into a war. You're done.
Well, it's a ceasefire right now, right?
Oh, get out of my face. Stop with the trickery. And that's what he said. And you said, it'll be over in a week. It'll be over in a month. It'll be over in 2 months.
Yeah, I was joking. I mean, it's going to be over when he makes a deal that's going to be beneficial to
is that a year, 2 years, 10 years? When is that?
Well, whenever it's going to be a business deal. When he can do
said
the business
a
deal.
year, 2 years,
and the funny
10
thing
years.
about it is, and I think this is where we got to look at it through a different lens because the Iranians, there was a strategy in taking out the older hierarchy in Iran, right? Because they're the religious zealot types. The younger generation in Iran, they are radical as well, but they're also capitalistic. They also they grew up under capitalism. Now, some of them feel that capitalism is bad, but a lot of them feel that, hey, you know what? We can make some money in this world.
You know what? They're more radical than their parents.
Well, yeah, but they're more radical, but they're also are more opportunistic when it comes to money. Money changes a lot. And so this deal that Trump is working on, I guarantee, is going to have a lot of opportunity for people to make money.
They're not going
and that's where the Arab world listens.
No,
at the end of the day,
they're not going to honor no agreement from Trump. They're not going to honor it. They don't trust Trump, and they're not honoring any agreement.
It depends on how they mask it, because I think that's where they may not go. They may not listen to Trump, but if Dubai and the Emirate states say, "Hey, you know what? We're going to rebuild Iran, and we're going to rebuild infrastructure. We're all going to make a lot of money." in the back end, you got the Kushners of the world investing all this crypto money into that same fund. And all of a sudden, this whole Strait of Hormuz is open. You got administrative, because now they're not saying tolls, they're saying administrative fees. So they're gonna structure this so that behind the scenes, there are going to be a lot of 1%ers making billions.
Pipe dreaming.
And that's the deal that they're working on.
Yeah, well, you're pipe dreaming. Nobody trusts Trump, period. They
trust Iran? This is about the 1%ers, right? So the 1%ers are the 1%ers in the Emirates, the 1%ers in Iran. And they're getting together and they're saying, you know what? We can come out of this thing and make billions.
No, we can't. They're saying, you know what? And they've already said they don't trust Trump. And they said, you bomb us, we bombing you.
Well, that's why they took out all the old heads. They took out all the old heads. And now now they don't know who they're talking to, but they're going to start talking to corporations. When they start talking to corporations and the owners of those corporations, that's when the deal is going to be made. That's why.
Get out of here. And them owners of the corporations will get killed. So get out of here.
No, I mean, we're talking about Iranian corporations. We're talking about Arab corporations, but the fund that's funding it is going to be backed by, certain people within the administration. I mean, so here's the thing. If we're going to sit here and say, hey, you know what? There's a moral high ground here somewhere. There's a morality somewhere within this.
All corruption.
We're going to be here talking back and forth all day.
This is corruption.
A business transaction.
No, it's corruption.
That's what the president's going after.
It's all corruption. Deal. That's it.
Oh, well, what do you think capitalism is? You think when they went, the colonies were founded on corruption. That's who we are as Americans, is capitalism. So you couch it as corruption or whatever. This is why they had such a separation. This is why Citizens United mattered when the Supreme Court made that ruling, so you won't get into situations like this. The snowball effect was corporations started lobbying. They started getting influence. Now you have a businessman like Donald Trump, and as the president, he's going to change policy to reflect corporate capitalism. And we as common Americans may see that as corruption, but this is all about business. When he went to China and had that meeting with Xi Jinping, he had all these executives.
I know.
He didn't have the Red Cross. He didn't have the Red. He didn't have the Pope and all these religious leaders. No. He had all these corporations, and they went over there and they started making deals.
I know, which was ridiculous, and the president had no business in business. Anyway,
really,
this is corruption. Absolutely, this is corruption at its finest.
Why is the unemployment rate is steady? Inflation is going up.
The unemployment rate is at 4% now. It's up.
But here's the thing. We're not even talking about the black unemployment rate or the minority employment rate. That's a whole completely different story. But no, I'm saying all this to say, Todd, this is what they elected him for, to change the norms.
They did not.
And sometimes he even said, you're going to feel some pain. You're not going to like it. But at the end of all this, somehow, somewhere, the snake oil is going to work.
All right, so I have the video, Cousin Todd. I'm going to play it. Let's see if I can play it. It's not playing. So I don't know why it's not playing. I don't know why.
Sure, that's the right one. That's not the picture. That's the video.
Yeah, it's not playing, and I just had it, and it was playing before, and now it's not playing. I tried it while you guys were talking, and it was playing, and then it's not playing.
Okay, now that is the video and not the picture, and you're sure of that? Okay.
The video is not playing. I don't know why. I'm going to stop sharing, but we're going to put it on. I'm going to put it on
TikTok
and Instagram.
Okay.
And then I'm a tag you, Aguna, and then look at it. So Todd, do you want to tell everybody what's about? Because it is your baby.
Do tell, Todd.
It is an idea we've been working on. Sweet and savory. Do you like sweet and savory?
It's like a pretzel and a cookie.
No, it's more like ice cream and caviar.
Okay.
How you
Sure.
like that? Uh-huh. So
I don't
that's
know
what
about
it is.
caviar, but yeah, okay.
Oh, you don't like caviar, huh?
Not really, but
Really? Do you eat it often? Why do you know you don't like it? Did you have
do
it
I
once?
eat it often? I've had it before, and
Right.
I'll pass.
Right,
I think
but
it was in Georgetown somewhere.
this is the point I'm making. People, are you trying to play that again?
Yeah, I was trying to. I don't know why it's not.
Okay. People, and we should stop doing this. People try things once when they're children or something like that, and ew, I didn't like it, and that was that. And so you never go back. But you should always try things 3 times before you determine, I don't like this. So try 3 times. So that is caviar and vanilla ice cream. It's an interesting taste.
Fish eggs and ice cream? Hell no. I know I'm from the jungle, but there's some
you're
things I
from
just don't do.
so all you want is, don't tell me, let me guess.
Goat,
og malls,
cow
chitlins.
pig's feet, goat, cow foot.
Oh my gosh.
Cow foot and ice cream.
Caviar and ice
Y'all
cream.
try it 3 times.
Oh, here it is. Here it
I
is.
got
it 3 times.
Wait a minute. I got it. I can't believe I got it. I don't know how I got it. All right. Here we go.
Caviar and ice cream, or ice cream and caviar?
What in the world? That look like a shoe shine tin.
All right.
Who told you to try that? Todd?
Yeah, why don't you try it?
I'll try it, Todd. What type of caviar is that? Is that caviar from that black owned what's her name?
No, she's not black.
There's a woman that has this that makes this when I was at Salamander during the food festival, she was sampling. It's black owned. I'll find out who it is and I'll
Oh, well, no, this is a girl named Meredith Marks, and she's white. As a matter of fact, she's Jewish, and she's from Salt Lake City.
Okay.
And she's a housewife of Salt Lake City.
Okay, well, all right. So you want to try hers? Is there a particular flavor? Excuse me.
I think that was I forget the 24 karat something. I have 2 of them there, and 2 different kinds. So anyway, it would say, so are you playing the other one or you can't?
Trying to now.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get this one open.
Caviar and ice cream. I only have that on my yacht. I only have that on my yacht, Todd. And only when I'm in the south of France.
We're doing ice cream and caviar bump. You missed that.
What?
It's an ice cream and caviar bump.
What the hell is that? What is she doing? Why she got it on her hand? Did you wash your hands?
It's a bump.
Like a dang on like you take a bump of like cocaine. You know what? Y'all doing too much.
That's all Todd's, baby. Let's see if we can play it again.
Why would you put it on your hand like that?
All right, let's see.
Did you put cocoa butter? You got cocoa butter on your hands or something?
Oh my gosh, he said.
Did you rub your hands with cocoa butter? You put it right there with. Normally, that's where the ash is. That part of the hand right there, that's where all the ash buildup. So you put cocoa butter there. So you put a cocoa butter.
Aguna, can we play, please?
All right, go ahead.
Let's do an ice cream and caviar bump.
What the hell? This is when when bougie black people have too much time on their hands, they tend to
all
experiment in
time.
very interesting ways.
And I couldn't get the caviar off of there.
On our next episode of Bougie Black People Behaving Badly, we will snort caviar through.
All right, so we're going to put that on TikTok and Instagram. And
Did you at least wipe the ice cream? And that's Briar's ice cream?
Yes.
Wipe that ice cream off of there. Oh my gosh. Okay,
right.
well.
So thank you. Let me do my outro.
If we have 3 straight across, I like that one better.
Okay. To our first responders in our communities, you make our lives livable. Thank you, thank you, thank you to the women and men of the U.S. military for all that you do in sacrificing your lives so that we are free to say and taste whatever food we choose. We are forever indebted. On behalf of Keith, the constitutional conservative who's off, Stephen, the independent thinker who's off, Aguna, the voice of reason, and my cousin Todd. I'm Stacey Johnson. Let's keep this conversation going on TikTok.
Yeah.
Remember, we're Sporlitiks.com on TikTok. We're Sporlitiks on Instagram. We're Sporlitiks on Facebook. We're Sporlitiks on Twitch. We're Sporlitiks on Stephanie Stallworth's The Flow Television Network. And please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sporlitiks, where sports and politics mix sense when? 2011. I want to know, where were you in 2011? We're Sporlitiks, where sports and politics mix and mingle. Thank you, Cousin Todd. Since 2011. That's a long time. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week. Hopefully the whole crew will be back. Good night.
Or maybe not.
Surprise.
No music. No music.
She was playing music.
You didn't hear that music?
No.
Oh.
And I know the other people.
You hear it now?
Nope.
I can hear it.
I can hear it.
That kick in from that caviar bump is kicking in. Lock it out too.
I bet you my people won't be able to hear it, but we'll see.
All right.
Anyway.
Good night. We'll see you next week.
Bump.
Caviar bump. Did you never heard of a bump from caviar?
I heard it when it came. That's like when you're doing drugs.
Well, times have changed. Grow up. You were born in the 60s or the 50s.
I'm not putting an ice cream in the ash. That's the ash pocket. That's the ashy pocket.
That's you.
I'm not putting the ice cream in the ash pocket. To do a bump, Todd.
All
right.
You just lick it off.
I'm going to tag you, Aguna.
Lick it off.
You lick it
other things
off.
Better.
Yeah, wouldn't you just try licking yourself for once instead of, well, you know what? Never mind.
I'm not a dog, Todd. I don't like to lick myself.
Speaking of which, where is your dog?
Well, she's around here.
Oh.
Bailey, where are you? She's over here. She's over here by the door. She's listening to the show.
Oh, hey, Bailey. How you doing?
I gave her some. We were eating crab legs.
Oh,
crab legs.
I'm not a bougie dog.
Yeah, she had crab meat, rice.
Does she eat the whole? Does she eat the shell too?
No, I don't let her eat the shell. I don't give her crab meat. I give her salmon though. Salmon's good for her.
Okay.
Oh gosh. So when do you? I'm just gonna ask. Do you have crabs? Well, never mind. Don't answer that. You know what?
I have Dungeness crabs because they're on sale this week. Dungeness crabs on sale this week. Do you have crabs?
Well,
look, I'm from the South, and I like Charleston and Savannah, and there's nothing but crabs down there, Todd. And so you need
to.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Put a piece of fat back on a string and throw it in a salt marsh down there, and you'll come out with crabs.
So Todd will have me looking a mess on there just so he can get his caviar and cream dream on.
No, we're going
to. He wants his caviar and ice cream dream on social media, and I can look a mess. He don't care what I look like.
Caviar ice cream dream. That's what you're doing, Todd?
Yeah.
Meet me in the vineyard. Meet me in Martha's Vineyard. And we're gonna have a whole showcase of this.
Yeah, I should. Because that'll be a good thing. This is the thing. Caviar and ice cream is good, and nobody thought of it because you usually put caviar. They do it like on potatoes or even potato chips or that kind of a thing. But ice cream is sweet and savory. It's like, so I think it'll be a big hit. I'm not making anything on it.
Yeah. Someone said
Brian should.
One of our viewers,
housewives stuff.
he wants to do housewives stuff. One of our viewers said, "Let's do a caviar and ice cream as a fundraiser at church next Sunday."
What the hell, church? Look. Well, the church I go to will have a fish fry. Man, as soon as you say caviar, that's going to be the end of that. That's not going to make it past the deacon board.
Well, yeah.
They're going to be like, what the hell we doing caviar for? We're going to get fish fry. We're going to have a fish fry. That's a lot of bread, literally.
No, maybe we'll get a deal with Briars.
The viewer laughed at you saying that, Aguna. He laughed at that.
Oh yeah, that fish fry.
That's definitely not getting by the deacon board.
Yeah, I bet not.
The council of unks are going to shoot that down.
All right, good night. Aguna, did you miss Stephen and Keith tonight?
Not really, but yeah, I guess I did. I don't know. It was. They're going to a Trump rally, so they're going to come back, revved up and
inspired.
Todd, get the hell out the camera, Todd. What is wrong with you? You and your Velcro beard. Get that Velcro out the camera. We're not trying to hang up any pictures. We don't need that. We're not trying to use that Velcro on that frame behind you.
Oh, you see her?
Yeah, I think you got extensions in your beard. How'd you weave them in there?
I don't have extensions in my beard. I do not.
His beard was his hair was of wool.
No, it's not wool. This is good hair.
Nah, it's like a nappy. It's like a nappy chia pet.
You see how long this hair actually is? But it curls up.
Pull that nap out of it. You're gonna pull a nap. You're gonna bleed to death. What are you trying to do there, Todd?
All right, it's time to go make the donuts.
I'm gonna start calling you Todd Chewbacca.
And I'm going to start calling you.
Here we go.
Here you go. Here he goes. Here he goes.
Let me just take a look because I can't hardly see you because you got no lights on and you're blue-black.
Hey, that's fine because I know, but at the end of the day, Dark Skin Brothers is in. You've been out since the 90s, Elder Barge. and I know you bleach. You bleached because that little glam photo you took back in 1988 or whatever you showed us.
That was no 88. That was 2000 and what?
No, Todd. You had a Richard Pryor mustache before that.
Out of my face.
And you was running. Yeah, I could tell you had some makeup on. You
no,
talk about me? This is nothing but natural. This is natural, tropical, greasy. I'm a greasy Nigerian, and I love it.
I know it
right now.
He said, somebody said Elder Bars. They start laughing at Aguna saying Elder Bars. They're laughing.
Jeez, you over here trying to, you got your beard all up in the camera. Nobody want to look at you, Todd. You looking at yourself. You looking at yourself in the camera. You have vanity. You should be ashamed of your damn self.
Get out of my face. You're not looking at yourself.
Stop touching yourself. Stop touching yourself, Todd. Leave yourself alone. Man, yeah, we're going to have some censorship on this show because, Todd, you're going too far.
That's the good thing about being on the internet. There really isn't much censorship.
Yeah. Jesus. Well, that's it. Todd. Okay, I'm going to eat something. I don't know
caviar
what.
and ice cream bump.
Maybe
yeah, that's a bump. You haven't seen people do bumps of caviar?
Negative.
Okay, well.
Okay, I'm not doing no caviar. Where I'm from, we don't do caviar. There's no caviar in Nigeria.
I know it's not.
It's yams. We got yams and goats, and that's all we need.
And plantain, right?
Fish egg. That egg need to grow into a regular fish, and then we can eat it in some soup. Mess around and eat an egg. What the hell is wrong with you, Todd? This is some bougie stuff. We're going back to our roots. I'm gonna have goat and ice cream. Goat and ice cream.
Oh my God!
Then we're gonna go with that. You have a bump of that, Todd.
No, thank you. Okay, well,
you're offending half the viewers. We can't even. This gas prices are up, and you eating caviar bumps. Let them eat cake.
No, caviar. Gas prices are not up according to you because Trump is great and doing wonderful. And he's going to get reelected.
You're going to complain about Trump and eat caviar ice cream on the show.
Yes.
To talk about prices and all this stuff. You're a part of the problem, Todd.
Todd made me do that. That's his idea.
all this crap that's going on, and Todd comes in there. You know what'd be very nice?
Let me
see. You know what, Stacey? Do you like sweet
and savory?
You know what'd be very. You know, I have an idea. We have to wait till you put it on TikTok. Ice cream. You know, Breyer's ice cream, like from the corner store. Let's get
not a corner store, a grocery store.
From the market. Get some ice cream from the market. And some caviar. You know, some real good caviar. And I want you to take the caviar
and put it in the ice cream and eat it.
I think that would just be phenomenal for them. I think that would be so. I think that the balance of which would just enrich what we're talking about. And you know what? You know what would be so great?
If you do a bump with it.
If you do a bump. A bump of caviar and ice cream on the show so our viewers can understand and appreciate sweet and savory. Surprise!
Good night.
Or maybe we can just get a cow and kill it, or a goat and kill it and eat
exactly.
it.
We'll bring out the savage. I'm gonna come up with something better. I'm different.
Yeah. Just take the goat in your kitchen and kill it and get blood everywhere.
We're almost 2 hours, thanks to you two. Bye.
Goodbye.
All right. Surprise. Bye. Until next week.
Bye.
Todd.